This this is crazy right now, okay? This is crazy right now. Not only you have your camera on, which I didn't expect. I thought cuz like I've made good Discord call videos with people that had their camera off before. But bro, how are you right now?
I'm doing pretty good. I just got back from camping, and I'm just in pretty good mood right now.
Okay. Um okay, I'm just double checking I'm recording because sometimes I do this thing
Yeah.
where like you record the wrong scene. So like instead of my screen it records my face. Anyway, who are you?
So, my name is Joshua. I've known Antoine for like I think 4 or 5 years now. Uh, we are both in CC together, so we've been classmates for
W
a while
school week.
now. Yeah. I mean, you've made videos about it before.
Yeah, okay.
Anyway, I'm 18. I like stuff in the outdoors. I like MMA, combat sports. It's kind of like a side hobby I have. And, I just want to do one of these calls because I've watched his channel for like a year or two. Well, since it started, so that's
Yeah.
like 1 year.
Yeah, exactly.
And just
Exactly.
thought I want to do one myself.
So you've obviously been here before. Um was
I
it
was on that
what
it was the Siege video. It was like so scuffed.
but was there one before, like was there one after that? I'm trying to think. Oh, Michael's
I don't,
look at this kid. Nah, bro.
I
I'm
don't
not
think
too
so. I think
sus.
that was the only one. I mean, like, there was the one time you had the can that you were having everyone
Okay.
sign,
Oh,
but that's like, it
yeah. Yeah, but that
was
wasn't
like
a
a
video.
recap.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you did mention that we knew each other for about 4 years now. So obviously I'm gonna ask you questions like that I probably know the answer to just for the sake of the interview. But I mean, okay, we can start with that Siege video. Like, I mean, there isn't much to say about it. Like, we played the game. It was like you said, it was scuffed. Um, I'm blanking. I don't know. I guess you can say like what was your first impression of like the channel? We'll say that.
I mean, I
Because
think
I
your first
remember your
video,
comment. Sorry for cutting you off, but I remember your comment. You said something about the book. You said that did I ever read something about like it was before the series started. The video was called "I Woke Up" or something, and
yeah.
you
I
said, "Did you
remember,
ever read something?"
I'm like blanking. I think I remember making that comment, but I don't remember what it was about, like the book.
It was
It
something
may have
about
been,
happiness, like what you want to do in life, something like that.
oh, actually, I think I do. It was this book, a Japanese book
Mm-hmm.
called Ikigai.
Ikiga, yeah.
And I remember at one point in school I was like talking about that,
Mm-hmm.
but I had like just discovered the book and I haven't read it, but I basically got a summary. And at the time, it sounded like, sometimes when you don't know what you're going to do with your future or your time, and you find something that can help you plan or like get on the right track, it's really cathartic to kind of learn it. So I got like really into learning about the book and the concept, and it kind of seemed like the type of stuff you were describing in the video. So I'm pretty sure I was just like recommending it
Yeah.
because I mean, like that's the basic concept of it.
I do remember watching a video about it. Like, I do remember at some point I knew.
Yeah, I mean, from my understanding, it's basically that this guy like observed the people in Japan who lived the longest,
Mm-hmm.
and they always had three things in common, and it had to do with their profession, like what they do in life. And I remember he was basically saying the people with the most fulfilling profession, like what their job is, it kind of has to have 3 points. The first is that you have to love it, you have to like doing it.
I remember this
Um,
part. Yeah.
yeah, it can't just be something that because there's some people they'll work a good job that they don't like because they know that it's gonna pay off.
Yeah.
Like I know one of my friends who I went hiking with him. His dad retired at like 30, but sorry, my dog was like coming over. He basically didn't really like his job, but it made a lot of money and it opened so many doors. So for him, it was only he had to do that job for like 5 or 6 years, but it basically set him up for retirement. And I mean, I don't think I'd really do that. You got to have something you like. And I think the second one is it has to be lucrative. You got to actually be able to make money. And the third one, I think it was that you have to be good at it. So, like, if you want to find your career, your calling, whatever it is, basically you have to have those three things. You got to like doing it, you have to be good at it, and you have to be able to monetize it.
Right. I do remember, like, yeah, you explained it exactly the way I was like taught it. That is what I remember it being. Do you know what that is for you, bro?
I mean, to be honest, like, I just turned 18 about a month ago. I feel like I have ideas and like I can kind of see what I want in the future, but I don't really necessarily know the steps to get there.
Exactly. Yeah.
So for me, it's just I think the smartest thing I can do is just try to open as many doors as possible. Set up those opportunities. Because like one thing that I feel like I really want to have in my life is the ability to go out into nature, like out into the country. And I'm really into martial arts. I mean, I did it as a kid, taekwondo and all of that. And so I want to have something that involves that, or at least can fuel that, like through money.
You got to black belt?
But yeah, I did.
Okay. For how long? How long were you black belt? Did you quit right
Uh,
after?
like to get there or after I got it?
Yeah, after you got it. Like, did you quit right after?
Kind of.
Yeah.
I got my black belt, and there was like maybe 5 or 6 months, and then I moved here to
Oh,
Orlando,
yeah, I do.
and then I was about to start up again, but then COVID happened. Actually, I think I moved during COVID. It was weird.
Yeah, COVID just tanked like a lot of sport dreams for me and for like a few people I know. Shit was so goofy.
Yeah, no, because like you see all those memes about, top five canon events, and one is always like realizing you're not going pro in your sport.
Yeah.
So many people probably had to deal with that. Yeah, it was a weird time because like I was moving during COVID,
How
and I
how many times have
remember
you moved again?
I think seven, maybe 7 or 8, but
And
only like a few meaningful ones because a lot happened when I was like a kid, barely
yeah. How
conscious.
many states?
Uh, three, I think,
What's
three
the
main
third?
ones. Well, so I was born in Texas, so I
Yeah, I
kind of
knew it was
count that as
Texas.
a
I
main
I
one.
remember it was Texas, yeah.
Mostly just New Mexico and Florida.
Mhm.
So I was born in Texas, and then I was like maybe 6 months old, and we moved to Pensacola.
Okay.
My brother had already been born by then, so my family had already moved 2 times before.
Mhm.
Actually, three for my dad and mom because my mom was from California and my dad was from Houston, and they both went to Baylor University. So they had already moved. And
What did your
then,
dad do? Was your mom something music related or not?
so she was going to college off of scholarships and that kind of stuff. So,
Brother, piss off. Actually, yeah, just chill, bro. Like, what is that? I'm not Kaisen that, bro. You can't just.
anyway,
Anyway,
he's gonna
okay,
play
I
Clash Royale back there.
I didn't hear what you said. I asked, was it music related? I didn't hear. Sorry.
Yeah, so I don't think so. I knew at one point she was like working at a hotel,
Yeah,
like the front desk.
yeah.
And then also anyway, but she had scholarships and stuff. My
Okay.
dad originally wanted to be a doctor, but he changed his career and then went into the military.
Hmm.
And then after that we moved from well, this is after I was born. We went to Pensacola. I think it was either Navarre or Pensacola, which are two cities that are only like 30 minutes apart. And then it was to New Mexico, and that happened 2011. And I remember it was 2011 because the day we got to the new house, none of our stuff was there except a TV. And that was when the news broadcast about Osama bin Laden getting shot came over. It was like the day we got there.
Okay.
And I also remember I got a cool Hot Wheels that day.
Do you know? You lost it or not?
I think I might still have it. It was
Mm,
like a speedboat. It wasn't a rare one.
I think I've had a speedboat. Yeah.
So anyway, I lived there for about 5 years, and me and Ben didn't really. I mean, this was like 2011 through 2015. So obviously people had phones and stuff, but I feel like people weren't really on the internet as much.
Yeah, of course.
Like it was like weird or rare when you would see a kid like 11 years old with a phone.
Yeah, a young kid because the internet was a lot more
Yeah,
adult. Like things were, how do you say, like I don't know. Like humor was more adult. Like it yeah, like you said, it was rare for kids to interact with it.
I think it might have to do with like the barrier of entry to the internet. Because back then, like if I wanted to get on a computer, I would get my parents to go type in the password if I didn't know it, and it was kind of slower, not really
Yeah.
that big of a difference, but like phones especially. Yeah, I think COVID was part of that too.
Phones are brighter, faster. They work like
Yeah.
without like yeah, they don't have to like
Yeah, and I
oh
think it's also after COVID, like everyone was on the internet during lockdown, so I guess it's more normal, maybe. But yeah, most days there, like I played soccer, me and Ben both did. We would go to this ranch and ride horses, do like ranch kind of work, and play Minecraft, like Pocket Edition. It was pretty simple back then. We had a really good community, like with the church I used to go to. That's kind of when I started going into the outdoors because my family was good friends with this one family, and every year we would like go out to this national forest in New Mexico, uh, Lincoln National Forest.
okay.
And me, my brother, and a few friends, we would literally just like go out and play in the woods for like hours on end. It was beautiful. Like it looked like the Far Cry 5 map if you've ever seen that.
Mm-mm. I know of the game, but no.
Yeah, so and then 2015 we moved to northern Florida,
Mhm.
which it was kind of an
Wait, you
upgrade.
said Pensacola, then to New Mexico, then Northern Florida again.
Yeah, so that's the thing. I moved a lot, but it was like bouncing between the same few places.
Who do you think?
I think you're in his room now.
He's stripping in my room.
And
Mate.
then that room belongs to him now.
Um okay, sorry. Okay, yeah, moving. I want to ask more about like, bro, I have ever like you're easy to talk to. There's a lot of things I can go into. You said something like as soon as you said Hot Wheels, I was gonna ask you about collectibles. As soon as you mentioned your father, I was gonna ask about military. I already asked you about moving. You're speaking about nature. Obviously, I'm gonna ask about some crazy. I'll leave. I'll let you say the crazy
Well,
like
yeah, we could.
Cub Scout, not Cub Scout, Eagles. Is it Eagle Scout?
Uh, yeah, kind of. I
No,
got a
no.
few stories on that later,
Wait,
but they're
no.
kind of
Actually, what
long.
is it called?
The organization itself is called Scouting.
Yes.
Eagle Scout is a rank within it.
Okay. So
Yeah.
you're working to it or you are now?
I mean, I've done all the work, but you need to send in an application that gets processed by like the national organization.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just waiting on that right now.
Okay. Okay. I got
Because
you.
there's like hundreds of people all across Florida sending in their application at the same time. So it can take anywhere from like a couple weeks to a couple months for them to actually just filter through it.
Okay.
Um, and I got some funny stories about that later, but like I said, they're kind of long, so you have to, explain them. You're talking about collectibles, though. What were you going to say about that?
No, you just literally mentioned that same Osama bin Laden day you got a Hot Wheels. So I was gonna ask like I don't know. I had my fair like era of collectibles, especially because of this fucking kid spamming each other with
Yeah.
like Hot Wheels, and now I have like 1,000 worth of Hot Wheels just sitting on the wall just because. Did you ever have anything like that where you were just into some random niche of some physical like collectible memorabilia or something?
So, not really.
Hmm.
The only thing I can think of is like back when I was in, those Minecraft figurines they used to have? They were like little plastic figures. They had like giant heads.
Where is it? Where is it? Bro. The one time I put them away, you're talking about them? That's ridiculous. They sat on
Yeah.
this, you see this white table like right here? They sat here for like I don't even know how long, and now I moved it. Bro, I know exactly what you're talking about. I had like a lot of them.
Yeah. I had a lot of them too. And there was this store called Hastings. Uh, you know the store Spencer's that you see at like malls and
Yeah.
stuff? Imagine like a Spencer's, but a little bit more like reined in and much bigger.
Okay.
Uh, think of like a Spencer's and a Barnes and Noble put together. That's kind of what it was like. There's like a
Interesting
lot of
combo.
movies and game stuff. Yeah, like skateboarding stuff, music. I think it may have been like a physical media store. That may have been what they marketed as. But anyway, they would sell those like the little mystery packs, and I bought a lot of them, but I wouldn't say it was ever really a collectible.
Nah,
The
I
only
would
thing I
trade
kind of
those.
collect,
I would trade those in public school, and I would trade them with Dylan. And
I
where did I
did kind of
put
go
them,
through the
bro?
Pokemon phase though. But yeah, it was the same thing with Pokemon. Like they would sell them at my local Dollar Tree, and I would just go buy mystery packs.
You ever played
And I
the
got a
game?
few good cards, like the video game or the card
The
game.
card game.
Yeah, I would play it a lot with my friends from church.
I think kids in like second grade explained it to me like one day, and I played it one time one day, or maybe for like 2 days. But I collected the cards. I made videos. That's why I cared about making videos, or I know how to edit and all that stuff because I had that toy review channel. I did make card unpacking videos, and those same cards I used to play in school. But I remember playing the card game like one time.
Yeah. I remember like when me and my friends would play, it was at like the CC community there. There was this one place we would meet. It was at a church called I think like Ranchvale.
Okay.
And it was this church out in the middle of the desert. Like it was like really isolated. And we would go inside during lunch to play Pokemon because the wind there is so bad. If you took them outside, they would literally
Yeah.
blow away. And we played like a simple version where we would just like take turns, use the attacks. I didn't even know till later that there was like energy cards and all that stuff.
Mhm.
I never really went that deep into it.
I don't know. I don't even know if like played it properly as well.
I don't think I did. I played it how me and my friends decided, I guess. But yeah, the only thing I guess I kind of collect are in scouting. There's different patches and
I
stuff.
remember, and you said I
Yeah,
remember you told me a story about like you found some. Was it? It was a firefighter. It was someone that had access to a bunch of patches, like a bunch of patches. Forgot who.
yeah, that was one of my friends, Jonathan. But those were like firefighting and military patches are almost like different than scouting
Yeah,
patches because they may have the same designs, but because scouting is an organization,
yeah.
all their patches to be official have to have like certain markings and stuff. But patch trading is kind of cool. Um, I've spent a little bit of money on it. Basically, the whole point is that there's different patch sets. So, you've got your uniform and scouts. There's a different one for, Cub Scouts, normal scouts. But there's this slot like on your chest, like right here, where you can display patches.
Hmm.
And, your unit, your lodge, I can explain that stuff more in depth later.
Okay.
Every time there's a national event, and national events are basically when like scouts from all around the country get together
Hmm.
and each unit makes their own. And you basically display it on your uniform.
Hmm.
You can trade it around.
Yeah, you be drawing in
And
class, like
yeah, some
patches
of
and
them are
stuff. Of
pretty
course.
creative.
Yeah.
And I think it's kind of interesting, but some people go all in and spend like thousands of dollars. Because some of them are rare. There's patches that go all the way back to like the 60s that we have in a museum. And people pay a lot for that kind of stuff. I mean, the only problem with trading is that there's always like a bunch of adult leaders
Yeah.
who will buy like thousands of them online and
Yeah.
then go to these national events and like basically sell and trade them. So yours don't really have value.
Yeah. You mess up the entire economy of it.
They literally inflate it. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's like different rarities and stuff. Lots of collectibles. Yeah. So going back on what we were saying earlier,
Hmm.
I think there was like three main moves. That's the easiest way to explain it. There was the one where we went from like Pensacola to New Mexico,
Hmm.
Clovis. That was the town. Then Clovis to Niceville, which was North Florida, Northwest Florida. Yeah. And then to here in Orlando. Each move was like a different era because New Mexico was very. I mean, that was my early childhood, so some of it is a little bit hazy. Like I don't remember all the details, but it was mostly just like me and my brother hanging out. We used to ride horses, go camping a lot.
I'm really
The
interested.
neighborhood,
Oh, good.
the neighborhood, like I'm not one of those people who pretend to be from the hood or
Right.
anything, but like the neighborhood
It
was
was sketchy.
pretty sketchy.
Okay.
Yeah, we got like broken into a few times. It was bad. So the next neighborhood in Niceville was really nice. It's like gated community on the beachfront. All the neighbors are like 65 plus.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
The
and
Florida,
unlike
yeah,
Clovis,
retired Florida life. Yeah.
exactly. And a few houses had like people my age that we used to hang out with, and it was great. Honestly, that was probably my favorite neighborhood. The one I'm living in now it's fine. Like safe, maybe not quite as luxurious, but I mean, I'm not complaining. I don't pay to live here. I can't really be ungrateful.
I'm really interested in trying to like pinpoint exactly where I would like to live depending on what I do for a living, right? So like imagine I like to imagine I have like a really flexible job that I can do it from like most places. I imagine myself living, around nature most of the time, but I also liked really compact cities. So like I kind of just balance like what the priority is. What's your priority and like what like where you would like to live and where, cuz you've obviously lived in a lot more of a variety of places than I have. My three, like I've lived in a condo apartment and then this house, and like you can draw you can draw them in like a line like this. Like one is like 10 minutes down the road, then me, then the condo is like 10 minutes up maybe.
Yeah.
Literally I've lived in this like same little like that
Same like area,
yeah,
district.
stereotype of people that never leave the hometown. Like that's how it feels like in Orlando. I was born
Yeah, I
here
think
even
for
though my parents weren't, like, I don't know.
right. I think like for me, I would want somewhere first of all that's, safe and relatively affordable. I mean, that's kind of the basic priority. It kind of goes without saying. You want to live in a safe area. Um, what I really liked about Niceville, Florida, was the fact that the town itself was very. It was like a nice, relaxing area, and there was like enough to do. But then if hold on, I'm getting some like connection error.
You're good.
Okay, yeah. Um, but if you drove 10 minutes over this bridge that was right by my house, you got to Destin, Florida, which was like a very tourist party kind of town, kind of like Panama City or like St. George Island.
Mm.
So if you were bored, if you wanted stuff to do, there was a million different tourist attractions over in Destin. I feel like Orlando, if you're not 21, like you can't go to bars. You pretty much have to like make your own fun or go to theme parks. I mean, that's obviously not all of it, but
But sometimes it
I
feels
hear a
like
lot
it
of people
is.
complain about that.
Right. And it's like
Yeah, it's like there's
I wish I didn't have to complain about it, but honestly, I just had a conversation with my mom about this like less than a couple hours ago. I said I really want to know cuz my grandfather worked for Disney, so I had free passes, whatever, whatever. I really would like to know what it's like to one, not live in Orlando and crave going to Orlando, and two, not have gone to Animal Kingdom, Magic Kingdom, Epcot, all the stuff, and like the desire to go for it. Like I have no idea what it's like to want to go to a theme park. And I live in the
right.
most theme park area ever. SeaWorld's right there. Oh, like I'm doxing, but like I mean,
I mean, I live close enough to like Disney to where like remember we were talking about the drone ban in like the air you send your drones up and
yeah,
they'll come down
yeah,
like the skies.
yeah.
I think I have that. Like I can't fly drones here. But yeah, I mean like
Ridiculous.
I heard someone put it one way. It was like there's a million things to do in Orlando, but at the same time, nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't necessarily agree. I feel like a lot of the people just either aren't creative enough or they're not really getting what Florida has to offer. Because for someone like me, as a scout, I've been to so many different places in Florida that most people don't even they either don't know about it or they don't want to go.
I
Because
think I
if you're
actually
not
know
into
exactly
like,
what it is.
yeah,
Florida, like Central Florida, built the shit wrong. Like the housing and everything completely wrong. Like the, if you have this swampy area, peninsula surrounded by ocean, like that's not how you should build a city. Like
yeah,
this
Orlando is a
crazy.
weirdly built
Yeah.
city. I was watching some video from this like zesty German dude talking about it. Um, but yeah, if you're into like outdoor stuff, if you like to go fishing,
Yeah.
like free diving, Florida's actually great. There's like so many opportunities and so much like diversity.
But to get
But
to it, it's all
most
these
people
like
aren't
back
into that.
roads and stuff, and it's like it's just too out the way. It's like it
You
shouldn't
just
be
got to
out
know
the
the right
way.
people.
I don't know. It's like
Yeah.
you
And I
just
mean the
pave
heat,
over all
like,
the interesting stuff, and then like now you have to get out the way for it. Sorry, I'm interrupting. Go ahead.
yeah, I was thinking about that. Oh no, you're good. Um, you see these videos of like what Florida looked like hundreds of years ago. Imagine what it looked like before like Disney and I-4 and all this stuff came through. The Keys are interesting. I feel like that's the other thing about Florida I kind of like is that obviously these places are like far away, sometimes a few hours, but Tampa's not that far. If you're trying to do something for a weekend, you could go to Tampa.
My friends are. I'm
Um,
trying to. I want to go with them, but it's like October, like third, like right before the series ends. Low key, I should
what is it for?
football.
Oh yeah. Honestly, I think Tampa might be the best city in Florida,
Yeah,
like city specifically.
yeah,
Because with Orlando, it's like there's the downtown, but it's so small. It
yeah.
doesn't
The
feel like a
downtown
city.
is a fucking joke. What about like my? I mean, like me and Michael. It's so ridiculous that I have this kid right here. He's not supposed to be here. Me and Michael talk about Miami all the time. So it's like, I don't know. I think Miami's cool. It's just, I just don't want to be in one of those cities that, like, every year, every 2 years, the entire city's underwater. And now you need, like, Juke Squad to come save you and Mr. Beast to do, like, a whole philanthropy thing for, just for everyone to be able to live
Yeah.
there and everything gets, like, revived and rebuilt. I've heard this story so many times when I go down to the beach. It's like, oh yeah, we just got a crazy hurricane, and everything was just gone. Like, I'm not trying to live there.
I mean,
I
there's like supposed to be a hurricane today.
Yeah, I saw it as I'm opening my PC, something about a typhoon or whatever.
I missed the rapture. That was
I
supposed to
saw
happen Tuesday, and I didn't even know about it.
what?
Apparently, the rapture was supposed to happen Tuesday, and I missed it. Yeah.
Apparently, what?
Honestly, the rapture was like supposed to be
Oh,
happening
that.
this
Yeah,
Tuesday.
never mind, bro. Like, yeah, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, Miami, I haven't really been there that much, so I can't really give a good opinion. I've only ever driven through it, but I wouldn't want to live there. Maybe like West Palm Beach, but like if you're not like rich, what are you even doing down there?
Right.
The Keys I've sort of been to. Uh, they're nice, but they're just as expensive as West Palm Beach, except your house won't be half as big.
Yeah. I don't know, bro. Like, I'm just trying to figure out what exactly where I want to live. Like, I'm going to New York in December, like around my dad's birthday. And I'm excited because this time I actually did it right and I planned way ahead of all the places I want to go see, all the stores I want to go see. So I'm gonna like film like all of it and then come home and edit it all. Since I'm gonna be off of the series, I don't have to rush things. I can actually take my time and make like a good, decent video with it. But
Yeah,
I like city life. Like I like the compact, never sleeping lifestyle. I also like the wake up with the sunrise and go to sleep with the sunset, like in Wyoming or something. It's just
Right.
Everything is too difficult. So that's how you end up with Orlando, with like a big ass melting pot of a bunch of people that don't speak each other's language, and like just just like
Meth
annoying
heads
areas,
everywhere.
traffic, like all this stuff that you shouldn't just have to deal with. I don't know.
Yeah, it's almost a little like LA where there's like all these different communities, but I mean LA kind of works sort of well.
Does it?
Orlando's just a weird city because it's like we did. I mean, it kind of doesn't, but
I thought everyone complained about
Orlando kind of has
homeless,
similar
poop
problems.
everywhere, taxes, gas prices. I thought LA is like so
Um,
like a failure.
oh, that's definitely true. I'm mostly talking about how there's like different cities and communities that make up LA. Like
Yeah.
when people say LA, they could be referring to a lot of different
Yeah,
places.
yeah, of course.
Same as how when people say Orlando, it's like it could be Apopka, it could be like
Which
Horizon.
is ridiculous that people from like I have a friend from Apopka and he claims Orlando because he's just like because he doesn't want to say he's from Apopka.
Yeah,
Um,
like Pine Hills. But yeah, I think the best thing, like at least this would be my preference, is like some kind of city or town that's a little bit more secluded, but is nearby a city. So if you want that, community environment, you can have it in your community. If you're looking for like different kind of music or art, athletics, whatever it may be, big cities usually have more of that.
now that I'm thinking about it, I
And
think
that's
Tampa has everything I want apart from mountains. Like Tampa has the city,
yeah.
the beach, like the sports. Like I don't know.
Have you ever climbed a mountain?
I've hiked a lot with this kid and Don's family, but like not like backpacking. Like no, I'm talking like Crocs, barefoot,
Yeah.
rock, like just waddling up like the rock or in the stairs made of like the tree roots all the way to the
Yeah.
springs.
Well, because you do like snowboarding, right?
Michael, do I snowboard? I haven't been so I haven't. Bro, when was the last time I went snowboarding? Maybe 2022. Bro, I haven't snowboarded in like 2 or 3 years. And I guarantee I can still like hop on the board and instantly be fine. Like I know what it feels like to snowboard. I clearly remember. It's just I
You just
just
haven't done it in a while.
yeah, because the family that I would go with, you know who, I can't. And this one always needs to go when I can't. So it's like it's like okay, maybe next year, and next year doesn't come. That's exactly
Yeah.
just what happened. So
Yeah, I've never been snowboarding. I've never been surfing either, and I feel like I should try surfing at least once living in Florida.
yeah, I think the
Because
same thing. Yeah,
yeah, yeah, that sort of kind of going back to what I was saying earlier. I think the best place to live is like where you got, your community and then a city nearby. That's kind of what Niceville was like because we had that city Destin and then also our little community, which was, much more secluded. I also kind of just want to live somewhere like in the backcountry, like
yeah,
mountains, rivers, that kind of stuff. And I've never really been to, well, actually, I've been to like Appalachia, those mountains,
yeah,
Tennessee,
yeah.
North Carolina.
Me too. It's
Never been
fucking
to the
nice.
Smokies, but I've been to the Rockies a lot. But the problem is, I don't think I'd ever live in Colorado. I've already lived in New Mexico, and if I lived there, it would probably not be in the same place. And then, some of the states above are a little too remote. That would be like if I build a cabin or something.
Exactly. Yeah. That's also what I was talking about. I was like with my mom, all these people that are so excited because we walked around an outlet mall that's on international, the most touristy like area other than like the Disney area, which I think is still international. I see all these people holding Calvin Klein bags, Disney bags, and like all these like tourists, duh. But a lot of them that I like, I noticed what like as we were getting into the mall, like right out of the parking lot, I saw a lot of American people, like not like not foreign. And I was thinking, like, where do you have to be from? That home is not better than Orlando. Like, if you're not if you're not American, you're not from here,
Gotta be
and you
from
want to come to
Clovis.
Orlando, like I can't blame you. But where could you be from? That is like, oh my god, Mickey Mouse, Mickey Mouse. This kid grilled me for doing that tongue thing. He said it's gay and zesty, and now it's his favorite. Look at you back there, fucking faggot. Oh.
Yeah, I mean, like I could probably think of a lot of places that are worse than Orlando. If that is
Well,
that what you mean by it? Like,
okay, no,
where
no,
would you have
no.
to be looking forward to? Like, oh, I want to go to Orlando. I want to go Pine
Okay, yeah,
Hills.
there's a lot
I
of
want to go to
places.
Ocoee.
There's a lot of places, yeah, but it's like I don't know. I just like being a Disney hater, bro. I just like being a hater of the things that that's around me and just desiring things that I can't have. Mountain snowboarding, like all this stuff, bro.
Yeah, hold on one second.
Yeah, you want to be a king of the castle? You want to be the whatever it's called, something of the show, star of the show? Go ahead.
Mickey Mouse.
Buddy, you're next, you know that?
Presentation drawn, ready to teach.
I need Juan, I need you, and maybe someone else. We'll see if they'll be down to do it. But you and Juan are next. I need you guys. Yo, I want to leak what you drew so bad right now. Wow, I didn't even see the one on the far right. This is insanity. You didn't even give him a box. You just tossed him there.
No motion for a box, G.
Equal scale. Oh my gosh, bro. Dang, I got 2 videos today. That's fire. Oh, my guest is back.
All right, I'm back. Yeah, something was getting delivered, and my dog was politely letting me know about it.
I'm sure he was.
Yeah, so what were we talking about? It was like places to live.
Yeah, I'm tripping. Like obviously, okay, yeah, there are places like less fun, less alive than Orlando. Yes, that's true. Fine. It's just
You know, one thing I've noticed, I feel like people who live in Orlando are really whiny.
thanks.
And I get it because, like, you know, the heat is obviously bad, but, you know, you see a lot of people talk about, you know, I hate the heat in Florida. How many of those people do you think actually, like, work blue collar or go
Yeah.
camping? Because from what I've seen, it's not many of them. And when they do hate it, like I've seen, there's this one construction worker who I think he like used to go to my church or something. He was like, "Yeah, I hate the heat too, but I like living here more than living in Pine Hills." I think he lived in like Horizon West. So I don't know. I feel like people complain a little bit too much, and I'm not
It's
like
just too
an
it's just
Orlando
flat.
Blazer.
It's just flat, swampy, and hot. Like can I
I'm
have
wondering.
can I remove one of those things? If we had good long winters here, you would not hear me complain as much. If we had some terrain, you would not hear me complain as much. But it's like the combination of those three things. We don't have terrain. We don't have like
Right.
the only thing is we have good like lakes, we have like springs, forests that a spider will like crawl in your ass and like give you some crazy like
Oh, bring it up.
disease. But I mean, he's gone again. Enos. Spider into the Enos. In the springs. Guys, let's go springs. Nigga, where did you come from? You're not even wearing you're fully clean. Like you're not even you came from work? Did you wash cars today or just drive? Did you wash cars or just drive? I'll put this on your tip. Did you wash cars or just
You want
drive?
my tip? Yo, you heard that? He did something.
Ben wanted to say hi.
Hi Ben. Where's Ben?
He just came by and he's like, "Oh, you're recording? Tell Antoine I said hi."
Hi, Ben. Ben is
Are
one
you
of
gonna
my
put it on his tip?
highest, huh? Bro, because I'll
Are you
try to
gonna put
ask
it on
him.
his tip?
Anyway, Ben is one of my like most subbed subscribers, bro. I think I have like three or four people that have over 1,000 subscribers subs to me. Well, let me
You
get
mean
his
like
channel.
channels that are sub to
Yeah,
you? Oh, okay, yeah. I was like, what do you mean most sub?
yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. But I mean, like he's getting a job, so I think he's given up on his Roblox YouTuber dream.
Unfortunate. Maybe you can give it to. Okay, I'm not gonna leak with someone I know.
Yeah, I mean, he told me he hated those videos because like it was the only thing that was popping off, but he didn't like the game. He's like, I don't want to be a Roblox YouTuber, but it's the only thing that gets views.
I would never would have thought that. I thought he loved it. Like
I mean, like he loved he loved creating
yeah, of
videos,
course, everyone does. Yeah.
but after you make so many different Roblox like spaceship reviews, I guess he just got bored of it.
Yeah, the juice is like literally. I don't use this phrase, but it's like the juice isn't worth the squeeze is like the realest like phrase. Even if it's not hard, like even if it's the content might be low effort. If you don't want to do it, like you don't want to do it. Like
Yeah,
sometimes it's just
Roblox
not
was
meant
not
for you.
his a key guy.
Right. A key, right? I know someone where Roblox is their key guy. He might need that channel, bro.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah,
Um,
just talk to him, have him transfer ownership over.
he wouldn't. He would want money for that. It's monetized.
He might.
He might. No way he's gonna give away a monetized channel for free.
I mean,
That's like
I don't know. Those two will have to negotiate. I'll pay you $100 for my channel where I get 10 cents of video.
that's passive income, bro.
Anyway,
That's finance for advice.
there was something I was gonna. Oh yeah, it was about like scouting and some of those stories.
Okay. I want
Okay,
to
yeah.
hold
Before
on.
we get to that,
Uh,
I was just gonna say the last thing that I kind of want to leave the whole like area conversation. You know, the other thing about the area you're in is like if you're into certain hobbies that require a community, you kind of have to have that in your wherever you're living, so you don't have to drive like 3 hours. Because when I lived in Niceville, it was a great community, but my parents like they liked it obviously, but there was barely any like music or arts scene there. So they didn't really have that until we moved here, and then they kind of got back into that scene. Because pretty much every place we lived before, there was always like orchestras and symphonies that they could participate in,
yeah.
places to make music, except Niceville. And like back in Clovis, they had those kinds of places. Back in Clovis, like most of the hobbies there were you would either go to the Air Force base, do whatever they had there, which wasn't really all that much. They had a golf course and then like a museum. In Clovis, there was a like historic district. It was actually pretty cool. I think it was called like downtown Clovis, and it was all these buildings from like 1890s to 1940s. They had a railroad museum, but you can only do that like so many times before it gets boring. The main things there were basically rodeos. Me and Ben participated in a few, and then there was actually a pretty large MMA scene there.
What do you mean
But
participated? Like just went to or
kind of both. So basically, there's this thing called mutton busting, which is where you put on a helmet. It's for kids only because you can't be really big,
right?
and you basically like grab onto a sheep, and they like hit it and they make it run, and you have to hold on for as long as possible. And usually most participants only last like half of a second
Yeah,
before the sheep kicks them off.
yeah.
Some of the champions, the like D1 mutton busters, would
Oh,
last like a full minute before they fell off. I didn't like it, but my parents thought it was funny.
yeah. I'm definitely researching Mutton Buster after this. Mutton
You may have found some
Buster.
stuff you don't want to see.
Nah, I gotta see it.
Yeah. Um, you know, there was like horses and broncos and that kind of stuff too.
I think that's something that I like. That's along with going to rivers or springs and stuff. I feel like horses is something that Florida like I could find not too far from here that I actually really like and really would like to like get into. I should
You
definitely try to
definitely
do it.
can. Florida actually does have a pretty big like equestrian scene. My sisters are in a group right now, and then one of my friends, I think he may be like a full blown ranch hand. There's so many places in Florida because back in the 1800s, the cow trade, they would drive them up from like California, Arizona. They would go through Florida and then stop and then up to like Chicago where they would sell them. So that's why you'll have like active cowboy culture, out in the West where you'd expect it,
Mm-hmm.
but also places like Florida and Iowa.
Okay.
I
I'll
haven't
have to
ridden a
get
horse in a
into
long
that
time
too.
though. I was supposed to ride one this summer when I was at this place called Philmont, but it was rainy, thunderstorming, so they didn't want to take the horses out.
I got you.
So
Okay.
yeah,
Before the scouting stories, because I really do want to hear about it. I want to talk about the military a little bit, only because I have a friend his name's Alex, the one that the song anyway. Uh he said something like he was at school and there was this like recruiter that came to his school, and like long story short, he got him. Like he got him fully hooked. So now
was was he the one who helped you build your PC?
no, that's Donnie.
Okay, so
Oh,
because
oh,
I
I got
watched
you.
that one video
National
about it.
Guard.
Yeah,
Donnie's National Guard. Yeah. No, Alex,
yeah. Okay, so this is like full military,
yeah, this is recent and it's for the Marines, he said. And
right?
he got so hooked on it because the guy started explaining to him things that I should have understood from the very beginning, but I didn't. When you think of Marines, you think of Marines, Navy, Army, like anything. You think of men in uniform standing on a field or marching or something. But like at the same time, there
Right.
are mechanics, there are like electricians, there are chefs, right? Like there are like people that need to cook and stuff and all this. So I don't know. He kind of started explaining it to me, and he said something about the like certain branches have like football teams or something like this.
Yeah, that's for the service academies. So like, have you heard of West Point?
Maybe. What it depends.
Basically, the military branches have
W Marines MLS team.
essentially universities. Like you go there for like high-end
I'm
ROTCs.
so
Like
sorry. Okay, high end ROTC. Yeah.
I think that there's like other stuff you do, but so like there's West Point, which is the Army's military service academy.
Mm-hmm.
And in order to get there, you have to have like the highest grades. I think ROTC is either it might be a requirement to go, or if you're there, you have to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And they have a very low acceptance rate. Like you have to have
Well, give me the
what's the
script.
word? When someone like recommends you, I forget what the term is. Endorsement. You have to have an
Yeah.
endorsement from like your local senator. So, and
What?
then the Navy
Holy like wait, what's the phrase for that? Like when you get yeah, like endorsement, but I don't
friends in
know,
high
like
places.
yeah, it's something like that. Like yeah, that's insane. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, and then there's the Naval Academy, uh Air Force Academy out in Colorado. And then Marines they have the Merchant Marine Academy. And so like if you want to be a merchant marine, which are basically like soldiers who go and like transport goods. Okay, you remember when we went to that aquarium like a year or two ago
Yes.
down in
And we
Tampa?
touched the jellyfish and we waited in line for it. Yeah, and then
Yeah, and it
the
was like
gorilla
freezing
gripped it.
cold.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of those ships that we were seeing there were a few merchant marines who they're basically merchants who sail the ships, do all that stuff, but they're armed. So like when you go into dangerous waters like Somalia and those places,
Pirates.
You said merchant. Yeah, pirates. They're basically people who are ready to deal with pirates.
That's tough.
And them, along with the Marines, go to the Merchant Marine Academy. I think that's the only one where you might not need an endorsement, but I could be wrong. And they all have football teams. Usually they get beat in the college football tournaments.
Right.
I know the Merchant Marine Academy has a good wrestling team, and Air Force Academy has a really good band.
I don't know.
So yeah, you're talking about your friend, the recruiter.
That's basically like I mentioned him just as like a gateway to trying to say like I want to learn more about like these just opportunities that exist. Like I understand you don't just walk in and say accept me and they're like right this way. Here's like come work here for like this really like simple job and you know you get lifelong benefits or something like that. No, but I don't know. I don't
I
think
think what you got to do, or no, yeah, finish what you're saying.
like I'm not talking about just military. Like this is just something that I'm understanding now that you can do, but I just want to know more like about these programs like this. The word is what's the word? Missionary? Like not like missionary stuff, but I don't know. Like
Like representatives,
yeah. Like I want
like
to
people who
know
try
more
to
about that.
like recruit and reach out to people.
Yeah. I want to know more about it.
I know what you mean, though. I think if it's military specifically, talk to a recruiter, preferably like one of the honest
Yeah.
ones. Because, you know, they'll go to school and they'll be like, it's going to be just like Fortnite. And then they give you like a bag and a bracelet and
Yeah.
everything. But from what I've seen, if you actually say, like, hey, I'm interested, do you think we could talk, like, meet up somewhere or call on the phone, like, at this date, they'll usually be a lot more honest. And you want to talk to a recruiter and then also talk to veterans. Because, I mean, a recruiter, even if they're honest, they're trying to get you to join. Like, they're trying to sell you something. So, talk to veterans as well who have actually been through it. And, you know, sometimes both of their perspectives may be a bit jaded in one direction or the other because the recruiter's trying to sell something. Sometimes veterans, uh, you know, they don't always have a good view of their time in the military.
Yeah.
Some do, some don't, but their view is going to be the most honest.
I
Because
got
I
you.
know, like, I feel like I mentioned this a lot in class, a conference at Boulder University last year, and it kind of ties into scouting. It's sort of associated with that. But there was like recruiters everywhere. They had like 15 different buses. They had full like simulators set up for the Air Force where they would like put you in VR and have you flying a plane. And it was like not realistic at all
Did you
with like Wii
mention
Sports.
did you mention this to me or no?
I think I might have at some
I
point.
remember something in Boulder University, something like that. You got it
But
paused?
yeah, no, and what was really funny is they had this one simulator thing where you like put on VR goggles and there was like a machine gun and you would like shoot stuff in VR. But it was like these really bad animations and you were shooting like aliens and stuff.
Yeah. Like yeah.
But yeah, the point I bring up with that is like, for example, um, in the group I was with, the contingent, you know, some of those people were a bit older than me, like 19, 20, I think one or two 21-year-olds. And they had their life like more figured out, I guess. Like they knew what they were doing. And you know, Ben, for example, said, I want to do welding. And this army recruiter was like, "Oh, you can still do that through the army. There's all these different programs. Just look up this." And they like, I think you may have given him a card. A lot of careers can be found within the army. But yeah, like one of my friends, his brother is going to he's enlisting in the army just to be a dentist, like on base. So that
Interesting.
way he can be a dentist, which is already a pretty good career path,
Yeah.
but also get all the benefits.
That's actually the method.
Yeah.
How old is your
And I mean,
how old
like,
is he?
I don't know. He's like maybe 17. I don't really know him. I only know his brother.
Wait, who's being the dentist?
My friend's brother.
Yeah, okay. How old is your friend's brother? I mean,
I
you probably
think
don't like know exactly. I understand.
17. Yeah, around that age, around our age,
Oh,
maybe a
okay.
bit younger though. But yeah, I think that is kind of the meta. You got to find a job you like and then do it through the military. And one thing recruiters always say is like, not every position is on the front lines, and that's definitely true. But at the same time, I feel like with how war is changing, like drones, all you have to be is a target. So like anyone can go after you with a drone now. It's not like you're in your base and your enemies would have to fight through to get you. Nowadays, if they see you driving a truck and they want that truck gone, they could probably just take you out through that.
Right.
Although I think the all the drone warfare won't be as big of a problem for America because we have technologies to counter it that all these nations you see going through that don't have yet. I mean, it's like that drone stuff at Disney.
You're
You
right.
can take that stuff anywhere. Like that's not a joke. You can literally just mute the sky.
Wait, why don't we have? Wait, why does Disney have that technology but not other countries? Because it's expensive or what?
Probably. Well, and I mean, it's probably price, but also just logistics. I'm sure whatever Disney's using is probably some sort of like device or tower that they may have, or like a generator. You can't really give that to your average dude in a trench, but the US probably could. We can set up coffee
No, but I'm
shops in the
saying
middle of a war zone.
why can't other countries have this for their
I
shit?
don't know, and they might, but I know like with the stuff in Ukraine, it's probably just logistics. I mean, half of the soldiers can't even get ammo.
Yeah, yeah, you're right.
But
Okay.
yeah, I do kind of see what you're saying because like I'm at the point where I'll be moving out sooner or later, and I just need to, I guess, open doors. Because if I don't know exactly what I'm doing, like I said earlier, the best thing I can do is just try to set up different options.
I think the
I kind of
best
have a
thing,
plan though.
yeah, like the best thing is at least care about something. Because I know a lot of people that have such a diverse music taste and they play they like they're really good at like a diverse amount of video games and maybe they have even good grades in school, but
They're Diamond One.
they could be diamond one in anything, right? But they just they just lack like, I don't
They don't
know,
have skills.
skills, or maybe even like interest in, like, you don't have to have interest in the arts, like even like cars or machinery, engineering. Like I know that's not art, but I kind of see like cars as an art form. But other than that, like there's just engineering in it, which is a whole other job in of itself. Like, just I don't know, like that's the first like good step. That's why I am a hard ass on all of my friends, making like always asking them the same question, like, what do you want to be, what do you like, what do you want, like all this stuff, because I want to make sure everyone around me kind of knows something about something and is interested in X, you know.
Right.
There's
And
like plenty
you're
of people that just aren't interested in anything and don't
yeah,
really
I've met
know.
people like that. And you can take your interests a long way.
Yeah.
I mean, some are easier than others, obviously, but if you figure out a way to monetize your interests, you're probably going to be a lot more satisfied than just looking for a job that you either don't like or do like, but you can't get money from it. I think you got to have skills too, whether it's mechanical knowledge, you can start working internship. That's what some of Ben's friends have done. They started with places like Discount Tires.
Hmm.
Now they're moving up to more advanced mechanics. Even just going to trade school and learning a trade, that's a skill.
Yeah.
I know people who their minds work like a lot more logistically. You can kind of see this fleshed out when with an organization like scouting where you have to plan like campouts, plan where you're going to be, when, who's going to be there. And you meet some brilliant people, but you ask them what they're doing and they're like, "Oh, I don't really know." It's like you have the skills and all these talents, but half the people don't even know how to use them.
Makes you question like what even made them get into scouting in general, if they're like what even made you interested in that, not you, like in general people, like how did they even
Yeah.
get interested in that?
Well, I mean, a lot of scouts are just there because their parents want them to be, because
Right.
it's seen as like a good, responsible organization, safe. Their kids aren't gonna, you know, get exposed to stuff,
Mm-hmm.
which is partially true, but usually those kids end up quitting. They don't go as far.
Mm.
The whole organization is based on advancement and developing you as you age. So the longer you're in it, the more advanced your skills get, the more stuff you do, the more you're allowed to do. And those kids usually, it's almost like a filter system. They don't stick around till the end.
Mm.
And it's almost like a cycle because they don't stick around long enough to do all the fun stuff, all those opportunities. And because they're not having fun, they kind of just lose interest and quit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I remember earlier you were asking about like what is scouting,
Mm. Yeah, somehow we got
and
to the topic of it, so I'm sure you're gonna tell some type of wild story sooner
yeah,
than
well,
later.
basically for background, like scouting itself is like an umbrella organization, and within it there's a few programs. The main two are Cub Scouts, which I never personally did. It's basically just like a group for, younger kids. I think it's like 6 through 12, maybe 6 through 11. It's very popular, but I never really did it. And most of the time, it's basically just adult leaders running campouts and then having the Cubs attend. And then once you're around 11, that's when you can go into. It's just called Scouts. Historically it was known as the Boy Scouts, but they allow girls
Yeah,
now,
I
so
remember. I
it's
remember.
different. Those are the two main programs, and Scouting is from 11 to 18. There's another program called Venturing, which is meant for 18 to 21-year-olds. And the whole point of venturing is basically like once you've made friends through scouts, going on different, like, they call them high adventures. They're basically like the best, most adventurous campouts. I mean, it's kind of in the name. These are things like going sailing in the Keys, going backpacking in the Rockies. There's national events. There's some events where you can like go to the UK, and that's what venturing is for. But it's not really that big of a program. For one, because they're not really good at marketing. No one knows what venturing even is, and also just because those opportunities, high adventure, are available to scouts as well. There's also one called Sea Scouts, which was by far the smallest, but now it's actually like growing a lot. And Sea
What's
Scouts it's meant for aquatics. So it's also meant for 18 to 21-year-olds.
okay?
Was I cutting out? I'm getting some Wi-Fi
No, you're good now.
issues. Yeah, basically it's like scouting, except rather than focusing on campouts and leadership development, it's all about aquatics. So things in the ocean, rivers, lakes, and they don't their units are called ships. And the average ship usually is very small just because Sea Scouts is a smaller program. But there's a few in Florida, I think two specifically in Orlando. And what both of them are doing is over the course of the next few years, they're literally building a boat.
Mm.
So every week or every other week, they all get together with new materials and they build a little bit more on this boat. It's like a pretty large motorboat. And that's probably what I'm going to do now that I'm 18 is register with Sea Scouts because
Oh,
there's a new ship that formed with some of my friends. Honestly, the programs are a lot better. Like, because it's more geared for people our age rather than Scouts or Cub Scouts, which is definitely meant for people who are a lot younger. And, there's a joke that you don't show Scouts Sea Scouts until they're over 18 because they'll never go back to, like, normal Scouts.
mhm.
Because the program is just a lot more interesting. And then there's also this thing called Explorers, but it's basically meant for people to like get them ready for things like firefighting, being an EMT, being a police officer.
First responder.
Yeah, I think a little bit like ROTC, but for those kinds of programs.
Mm.
And I don't really know a lot about them because most of the program isn't all that related to scouts. It's just kind of under the umbrella. There was actually an ICE one at one point where you could like train to become an ICE agent down in Miami, but
Of
it
course, it's in
got
Miami.
discontinued. Got discontinued in 2022. I think Michael might have liked it if he could have joined.
Yeah, he already has the uniform.
Yeah, so anyway,
What about the stories, bro? Tell me some more.
okay, so there's kind of two main ones. There was a third, but it's like really short,
Okay.
and I don't want to name names because some of these people I'm like still associating with.
Okay.
The first one was this summer. I think I mentioned it earlier. It's called Philmont, and it's one of those high adventure opportunities. So essentially, you get a crew together of up to I think 8 youth, and for scouts, youth is 11 through 18, and then for people like Ben who are 19, there's an exception. So technically, basically 8 people our age, and I think we had one or two kids who were a little bit younger, like 14, and then one of my other friends who was I think just turned 19. And then you get advisors who are basically adults. They're there for safety as well as advice.
Yeah.
And it's it's based out of this place called Cimarron, New Mexico.
Okay.
It's up on the border of Colorado, so North New Mexico in the Rockies. And you get your gear together and go on training hikes for about 12 months to a year. So what that looks like for people here in Florida is you and your crew getting your backpack and filling it, and then just hiking through Florida for like anywhere from 8 to 12 miles.
Okay.
And you do that up until you go to Philmont, which is generally around June. That's when most crews go. And you basically backpack and hike for about 10 days. And this is like 100% the back country. Like you're miles and miles, hours away from civilization,
Okay.
and you're like really out there. There's animals everywhere. You can. I don't know if you've ever felt this when in nature. There's a certain moment where you kind of just like you feel part of it. I guess it sounds like some like hippie stuff, but
No, it's not hippie
like
stuff. I don't know if I've ever felt like that because I don't think I've been that deep in like just so far from like asphalt, you know what I mean? So far from like a
yeah,
concrete road. Everywhere I've gone has been like fairly close to that.
it's like something inside you, almost maybe like spiritual in a way.
Okay. No, I
Because
understand.
there's like all the stuff we deal with, phone addiction, whatever. Just it can even just be stress from your job, from school. When you go into nature for that long, especially with your friends, it kind of just clears that all out. It's like a reset, and experiences like that will stick with you for a while. I've done film twice. I did it this summer and then also in 2023. It was a different experience because when I went in 23, the trek I was on was like much longer and a lot harder.
Mhm.
And it was just me, my brother, and then these two twins who went with us. So basically 4 people, not
Wait,
counting adults.
but which time was the thing that happened, like the story? Like,
But it's less of one story and more of just what Philmon was this year.
okay.
So I mean, like what we did was we all met at the airport, the Orlando airport at like 4 a.m. and flew out to Denver, Colorado. And then we stayed at this one of our advisors, um, like their family owns a cabin out in the woods in Colorado.
Mhm.
So we stayed there for a few days and went to Pikes Peak, like took a train. Um, we visited this place called Cave of the Winds. I posted a picture of it on my Instagram. It was literally this like underground cavern.
You're reaching like that?
Yeah, like that.
Yeah.
And oh no, that was a different one. That was a local place called Mutual Mine.
Oh, okay. Okay.
This I think it was a post I made like a couple months ago. It's like the first one. But anyway, it's imagine like a canyon. So there's like the sides,
Mm-hmm.
a very tall canyon like a mountain,
Oh,
and
yeah.
then there's like the dip in the middle.
Yeah.
At the top, this is where you park. There's a zip line from one side to the other. I didn't ride the zip line,
Mm-hmm.
but the cave is literally in the mountain of the canyon. So like this is ground level, this is the canyon side. The cave is in it. So it's almost like you're inside a mountain,
Okay.
if that makes any sense. And they call it that because when it was discovered, people were going in the cave, and because of sinkholes, there was like holes in the top, so it made a whistling noise whenever wind would go through. Have you ever seen videos of like hurricanes when people will go into hotels and all the wind makes like a whistling noise, like a harmonica? That's something you should look up because it's kind of creepy.
Okay.
Basically, that was happening in the cave, but I think it doesn't happen anymore. There was like a cave in and blocked it. So then after that, we went to Cimarron, which is a very small town. I think on like census data, it's technically registered as a village because the population is under 3,000.
Hmm.
And that's where Philmont Base Camp is located. And you go there, and they have this area. There's like, you have a dining hall, a chapel, a logistics center, all that stuff where you get your gear outfitted. And then they have rows and rows of tents, like big canvas ones that can hold two people, in rows of like 50. And I think there's like 5 or 6 rows. And that night, the first night, you go there and they give you like an orientation. And after that, you load all your gear, your backpack into a school bus. And that bus takes you on this like hour-long ride out through the mountains. And it's like those buses were off-roading because it's all rocky and there's so much gravel that when you go over the gravel, it like vibrates the entire bus. And it's so loud you can't hear anything. And then they drop you off at the trailhead, and that's where you start your trek. And then for the next 10 days, you hike, go to different locations. And oh, yeah, the treks. I feel like I should explain that too. Basically, about 6 months out, you choose an itinerary, which is basically like you have the whole Philmont property. They have like, I forget how many acres. It's a massive area out in the middle of the forest. And within that area that's all owned by scouting, you basically pick where you want to go within that area. So there's different places to visit. There's uh, staff camps, which are where the staff are, and each staff camp is generally from like 3 to 10 miles apart. Some of them are historically themed, so people will like dress like the time, and you can do different programs there, like pole climbing. So when you like put on boots and climb up a telephone pole. There's one where you can ride horses. There's one I did where you shoot like cowboy guns, like a
Okay.
double barrel shotgun, revolver, all that stuff.
Hmm.
There's hundreds of different programs, and you essentially select which ones you want to do on your trip.
Hmm.
And for ours, basically all those activities I mentioned we had on our trip, but we couldn't do the climbing or horses because there was like
Yeah,
thunderstorms.
yeah. Okay, so that was that time. Okay, I got you.
Yeah. And I think one of the main highlights of Philmont is of the mountain range. Most of the mountains there are about 9 to 10,000 feet, and the tallest one is called Baldy Mountain, and they call it that because it's high enough to where there's no vegetation, like no grass, no trees, and it's pretty flat on the top, about 12,800 feet, I think. And there's an option where you can climb it to the
Mhm.
very summit, and the whole trek up there, like it takes a couple hours, and it's exhausting because it's like basically imagine rocks that are about like this wide, about that tall, hundreds of rocks like stacked on top of each other. It's not like a trail you walk on.
Yeah, yeah.
You
It's
know,
like
at
you're
like
climbing a pyramid or something. I got it.
yeah, sort of. You know, like at trampoline parks, they have those foam pits with the like little foam bricks that you can
Yeah,
jump into.
yeah.
Imagine that, but they're rocks.
Yeah,
That's
so
what it's like
every
climbing this
step is
mountain.
like every step your foot is like this or something. Like nothing's
Exactly.
even. Yeah.
And it's like it's steep. There's some moments where it's like it's pretty steep. But once you get to the top, it's like it's not really something you can easily describe. You get this feeling of accomplishment. And at the top, the winds are like freezing cold, even if it's a hot day. And all the rocks there sparkle because they have gold inside them. So when you get to the top, you see the sun reflecting off the gold, and it makes all the rocks there kind of like sparkle and glimmer.
Is it what's the name of this place?
This is Baldy Mountain, Cimarron, New Mexico. Let me see if I can pull up a photo. And the other thing is, the entire mountain used to be a mine.
Yeah. I mean,
So back during the Wild West, it was a massive mining village, and they pulled like $250 million of gold out of it. But then we stopped using silver and the gold standard, so the town basically died out. And you can actually go and still see all the different mine shafts. You can see uh, everything left behind from the town is still there. And because of how seriously we take leave no trace, which is basically just, not picking stuff up, not taking souvenirs,
yeah.
there's literally like cans, utensils that were left there by the town, and they've been there for over 100 years. There's like
Oh,
a
and
whole
people
Model
can
T just
and
in the woods.
oh, okay. So you guys
Yeah.
keep like scouting, like you keep doing the trek, and like every time no one picks
Yeah,
anything.
no one touches it, so all that stuff is still there.
That's interesting.
And you know, it's just like I don't know, it's a vibe you can't really describe.
Okay.
And I think the other thing that makes Philmont so interesting is, it's a pretty big stretch of land, but within that stretch, if you're into history, there's so much to learn, like so much stuff that went down there. And a lot of that stuff, like I was kind of saying, is still untouched. Like there's this one area in the southern part of Philmont where back during the Wild West, there was an outlaw. His nickname was Blackjack. And apparently I don't know if this is true or like accurate. He went hiding, and there's like this, basically like a little bunker in the ground where he hid from the police, like the lawmen, for a couple weeks before eventually leaving. And like you can still go and see that, and there's still his possessions left there because no one takes the stuff with them.
Mm.
Um, you don't really see that with other places, other historical areas, and it's just something truly special because you feel
Time
like you're in that
traveling.
period almost. Exactly.
That's tough.
And so, yeah, I took a lot of photos. I can try to send them to you later, but it may take a little. I'm trying to look up the peak because there was some like, there's a good photo I'm trying to send.
Bro, I want to hear that. I want to hear whatever the other story is so bad.
Okay, well, yeah, I won't talk about film too long because honestly, I could go on for a while.
Mm.
I mean, a few funny things that happened there were like, um, I mean, most of the time you're hiking, so you're talking with your friends, cutting up the whole time. There was this one night where, because of bears, you have to basically throw a rope up into a tree, and you put all your smellable items, so like food, all that stuff, into the bag, and you lift it up into the tree.
Yeah.
And there was the first night of Philmont, right after we got off the bus. Our crew was trying for like 3 hours to throw the rope above the line.
Okay.
And what was funny is everyone thought it was like an athletic issue. They were like, "How can you not throw that?" But there's like a technique you have to do. You have to like wind up to get it up there. And then eventually, our smallest crew member was like, "No, guys, you got to listen to the ranger. This is how you do it." He threw it right up there. Got it first try. Yeah. It's a. I mean, a lot of people talk about Philmont being like life changing, and usually you hear that from adults, people who've been in the past, and you don't always believe it. Like when I was first going, like 2 years ago, I thought it was just gonna be, better than your average camp out, but it's just something you go through. But it ends up being something a lot more special, I guess.
I'll look into that too.
Yeah. So, and I'm thinking about staffing it next summer, which there's a lot of stuff about that too. Anyway, the second story, which was also this summer, um, I went to this place called
Was
Camp
this the
Daniel
crazy one
Boone.
that you were talking about in school?
Uh, kind of. This may have been a separate one.
You said you
Oh,
had
and also
something
the one I
wild you want
mentioned
to
in
talk about.
school.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one. All right, I'm not gonna name names because,
All
like,
right.
out of respect for these people.
Okay.
So basically, you
Walk it.
know, when you think of scouting, a lot of people either they just don't know what the program is, or they think of like little kids in uniforms selling popcorn outside Publix,
Mm-hmm.
or like those
Fundraising.
types of people. But when you think about staffing, like staffing for summer camps, YMCA, usually you think of a different picture.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, people who staff like YMCA, scout camps, ROTC generally get into a lot of sketchy stuff. And so I think this was either last summer or the year before. There's this camp called La Noche. Basically, every council in Florida, a council is like your chunk of the whatever state you're in.
Yeah.
The one I'm in is Central Florida Council, so it's basically all of Orlando and like the Space Coast. Our main camp is La Noche, and it's a pretty big one. People come from out of state to see it. And some of the staff there basically like were brewing moonshine at camp, like in the cabins, and they were like selling it, I think.
Okay.
And so eventually, like people were starting because it started with a few people, I think, and just like for the record, I wasn't there. I've never staffed summer camp. This
Okay.
is all like hearsay of hearsay of hearsay
Right.
of people who I don't even know,
Brother,
but
maybe
have heard
Ben
of.
is gonna watch this. Like, I don't. No one's like, bro. We're so in deep. I think we're probably like an hour and
Right. So
something,
anyway,
and like we're fine, bro.
they were brewing moonshine,
Okay.
homegrown, special formula, all that stuff
Okay.
for like
The
a
type that makes you
couple
go
weeks, I
blind.
think.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, basically. And essentially it started with a few people, like a few key people, and slowly like, they would invite more people to come like brew it with them, to try it with them. And they would go out into the woods. There's this area called I don't know, say it's a sports field. So, most of the camp is in the woods, but there's this giant like circle area where it's all flat where they do sports. So there's no trees.
Okay.
And then beyond the circle, so think of it like this. You have like a main road that runs through the camp, and on each side there's different campsites.
Yeah.
You got the circle right here, and then there's a bunch of hidden locations in La Noche. One of them is like circle. There's pallets, like construction pallets
Okay.
that I think were stacked there at one point, like in past summer camps, and they've been left to rot for a while. There's nothing like bad about them, but sometimes people go and like do parkour on them. And I think what was happening is they were taking the moonshine and like going out beyond that. So, the pallets themselves are like a secret location, and then going even further. And the word like started spreading, more people were leaking it to each other to the point where eventually like the camp masters, the rangers, like all those officials start to hear about it, but they still didn't know who it was. So what I think happened was near the end of the summer, is like July, August. They were all about to go home because the season was over, but the staff members were still looking for like the moonshine. So I think what happened is they stashed it, like, and then they had a bunch of like vapes and cigarettes, put all of that into this box, and took it somewhere out into the woods that no one knows about, and like stashed it somewhere,
That no
and
one
it's like
knows
covered
about.
by a tarp. And everyone jokes about it. They call it the One Piece.
Right.
And
How do you know what's in the box,
apparently,
Josh?
I mean, they just said they stashed it together. I don't know if it's in a box. It could be buried. There could be a treasure map for all I know.
Right.
Anyway, what's funny is I told you about that like briefly a couple of Thursdays ago. The day I told you about it, they found it.
Oh,
Like this camp
nice.
officials, and they like got rid of it, I guess.
But who did anyone get? Like, no one got
I
accused.
don't There was one person accused, but like he had already quit staffing, so
Mhm.
like there wasn't really any way to punish him.
Yeah.
And what's funny is that same person was at this one summer camp up in I think Virginia called Raven Knob,
Okay.
and it's a very like in scouting, every summer you go to a summer camp. And on the East Coast at least, there's a few big ones that most troops go to. There's Camp Daniel Boone, which I went to this summer. There's two in Georgia. There's one called Bird Adams and one called Woodruff. And then in Florida, there's one called Camp Shands.
Okay.
And then after that, there's lesser known camps, and it kind of just goes down in a descending order to like local state parks.
Okay.
And there's this one very obscure camp called Camp Raven Knob. Not a lot of people go to it, and it's an old camp. Like all the buildings there are made of wood, built in like the 20s. So a lot of people say it's haunted, and there isn't a lot of people who go there in the first place. And so basically, um, he went there like this summer, and he said the same thing was happening there. More shiners
Okay.
up in Virginia. And what the difference was, he said there, and this camp, like I've heard, has a record of being sketchy. He said it was the staff doing it too. It's a little bit crazy.
Michael might
But
have just
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. That's part of the reason why I don't want to do summer camp staff, because I don't want to get roped into that.
That makes sense. How long was this? An hour 26.
Like an hour.
All right. Is there anything else that you would like to say to the people? That's why I say every time. Anything you got to say to the people?
I mean, I kind of have a career plan. I'm probably going to be a staff member at Philmont, like I was mentioning earlier, next summer. But aside from that, not really.
What are you about to go
I'm
do
gonna try to
after this?
eat dinner.
What?
I got Five Guys.
Okay. I just had a crazy burger where the beef actually tasted like proper beef, bro. Appreciate that.
Where was it from?
What the hell?
Like home cooked?
No. Strangely, that's not no, because like I don't know. You can't like it was a perfect blend, like fresh. I can send you the address, like if you really want to know.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well, thanks for having me on.
Of course.
Thanks for talking.
It was very like again, I tell everyone this. I have a Google Doc with hella video ideas and like people that I want to make videos with and video titles and all that stuff. Your name, Ofuavi Discord call, was in there for a long time. Probably since the Siege video. So that's like the majority of the channel.
That's like almost a year ago.
Yeah. So I got like
I mean, how many days do you have left?
I believe like 14. Or maybe 13. This might be the 14th. We'll see. Watch yesterday's video. It was actually a banger.
Which one?
Yesterday.
What was it called?
Unemployed MP4.
I actually did watch that earlier today.
Did you hear what the guy said at racetrack? Because I didn't boost the volume. I didn't put subtitles.
Yeah, he was like, "Are you young? Don't drink too much."
Bro.
He probably thought it was like alcohol
No,
or
he
something,
didn't.
but it was just a tea.
Okay, I'll explain
He
this.
didn't?
No, I'll explain this right before I go. I was supposed to put this in the comments of the video, like with the timestamp. I'll just tell you straight up. I'm rolling like I have my backpack on. I have like a tripod. Nigga, what? Piss off. Wait, are you nigga? I have like a tripod in my backpack, like it's like kind of sticking out a little bit, like or like above my head, it's like sticking out. I have my camera, pockets full, bike. Like I'm trying to get scenes for the video, and I needed a scene of me, like literally what it was, me walking out of the store with Arizona, grabbing the bike and rolling away. I filmed it, which is the one that I put in the video, and then I retook it because I'm like, this guy. Before I went to go get the Arizona, like, you know when people are about to throw a cigarette away, but they like need that last little puff? Like he was doing that before he gets in the store. So of course that area where the camera's set up right in front of the door, that's like that area is now smells like smoke. I'm like, great. So like I'm trying to like think of what the shot will be. So I'm like, okay, I'll leave the bike right here. Then I'll go by the Arizona and do the shot and then dip and finish the rest of the video. So I do that. He sees me buy it and he leaves behind. Like as I'm setting the camera up, he's like, those things put me in the hospital. Walks away to his van or whatever. His van clearly had some collision recently because it's like bent in, and I just saw him cough down a cigarette. And then I'm like, oh, cool. cool. Like I'm
It was
definitely about to,
Arizona.
yeah, like I'm definitely about to go swallow this whole thing. Like thanks for telling me that. So I set up the camera, I do the walk, and he's coming back into the store, and he's like, "But you're young."
Is this a third time?
No. So I go kind of in the store with him, or like almost at the same time. Then we kind of leave at the same time. Then when I go in and back out, he's coming in now. So that's what that
Okay,
interaction
yeah.
was in the video. So he said, "You're still young, just don't drink too many." So I redid the scene because I'm like, that just pissed me off. Like, can this guy? I had to sit there with my where's my camera at? It's probably under the bed. I had to sit there with my camera, shuffling through photos, acting like I'm not trying to get like wait for him to leave. And once he left, I redid it. But while I was editing, I'm like, well, if I have a sequence of me chugging down can after can, like it would probably be funny to leave it in. So I left it in. So it's like, don't drink too many of them. And it's like,
Oh.
like, right? It was, yeah. That's what.
Are you
Yeah,
still collecting those cans?
I am.
What are you
Originally,
actually gonna do something with them?
I was gonna fill my car with them, and
Like the whole and like open the
yeah,
door and they all fall
yeah,
out.
yeah. I was gonna do that because I think that can be pretty harmless. I don't think it'll affect the like scratch anything. Like it could be okay. But and then I was gonna fill like maybe like a mini pool with them because I have boxes now. Like, and that's the funny part, right? Like I
Buy
could
those
have
big
really
cardboard boxes.
like shipping, but I have multiple like
Yeah.
shipping box size like um I could have over exaggerated it for the video and really went up in the attic and got another box to dump it for the video, which I should have, but I don't know. Like bro did not know who he's talking to. Like it took me a second to register. Oh wait,
It's like the
I'm like
CEO of
yeah,
Arizona.
like do you like bro doesn't know like it was
If only he knew.
if only he knew I have maybe 1,000 cans. Nah, 1,000's crazy. 500 isn't a stretch. But yeah.
I mean, maybe you could start with like putting them all in your closet, opening the door, and they all fall out.
Yeah. But then I have to stack them. I don't know. I'll figure it out. I'll come to the idea eventually. It's been real, Joshua.
All right. See ya.
See ya.